It's Inter-Dominion Grand Finals night at Albion Park this Saturday night. The wait is well and truly over and we've got two cracking finals coming up. One for the Pacers. Can Leap to Fame clean sweep the series? Can he do it? The last horse to do it was Alderman Sniper back in 2019, and guess what? He was a 4-year-old, just like Leap to Fame is. So we'll be cheering on the local champ, and as far as the trotting final is concerned, Just Believe is looking to clean sweep that series as well. This will be the second straight year that he's been able to clean sweep an Inter-Dominion Trotting Championship Series, and he looks bulletproof right now. So those finals are just around the corner. 10 races on Saturday night, early start time as well. 4:22. The Pacing Grand Final is race number 5. The Trotting Grand Final is race number 8. We're about to speak with two drivers that are going to participate in both finals. Two local drivers. Congratulations to both, Adam Sanderson and Angus Garrard. ID23 Grand Finals night this Saturday night at Albion Park. Looking forward to this huge program, Pacing Trotting Grand Finals, and our first guest today is driving in both. Adam Sanderson. Speak the Truth in the Pacing Grand Final, Van Sank in the Trotting Grand Final. He's in the hot seat now. Adam, appreciate the time and congratulations qualifying both horses.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. It's a big thrill to be a part of it, so hopefully we can make a dent in it.
Well, you're a kid from Kiwi land. You know what the Inter-Dominion is all about, the history, the tradition. So to have two drives, this is a big moment.
Oh, it is. Watching it growing up, there was, the past winners are exceptional horses, and you sort of dream of just being a part of it, and then to have two drives, it's if it's not in our backyard, we're probably not there, but we took advantage of it and we're there.
Okay, well, we'll talk more about those horses in just a moment. Let's go through your drives race by race. We start with race 1, number 8, Coolan Kid. You know this horse really well. Hit the line really strongly behind Luxury Lad and Fast Time last time out. This looks like an ideal draw for him.
Yeah, it is. He's quite a fast horse, and he loves just pinging off a helmet. So if he's close enough, he's going to be a threat.
It's a step up for him, but as we just outlined, drawn where he is, you don't have to do any work early, and you can sort of just drive for those holes late in the piece.
No, that's right. He's still only a 3-year-old, and what Dougie's done with him, he's done a good job. He's been very consistent and earned a lot of money for his new connections. So, as you say, if he posies up close enough, he'll be the one finishing off as good as any. Yeah,
and just looking at that front row, you're guaranteed to get pace, which is going to help.
Yeah, exactly. First race at Albion on a Saturday usually generates a lot of pace, so hopefully, as I say, we can take advantage of that.
All right, let's go to race 3. Makara is your drive. Gee, looked unlucky last week. Did he feel unlucky?
Yeah, he made good ground late, and the sort of tempo was just strong enough where he couldn't quite get into it and couldn't reel him in. So he's racing well. He just he can't seem to get a draw where he can sort of settle handy. So he's certainly racing well enough.
Is this race within his reach, in your opinion, despite the draw?
It is. It's just a matter of how they run it. He sort of, if he's not positioned early, he can't do a lot of work. So it's just sort of tempo related.
All right, Bonnie Prince Louis likely to run favourite here, drawn gate 3, fast beginner. So the faster the better. That's what you want with Makara?
Yeah, exactly. It's probably a little bit of a step up on that field last week, but if they go hard enough, we'll be finishing over top.
Okay, let's go to the big one, the first of two big ones for you on Saturday night. This is the Pacing Grand Final for the Inter-Dominion. Speak the Truth is your drive. You're the regular partner of this horse, and he's an outstanding pacer. There's no question about it. Overall, his series so far, how would you describe it?
Yeah, terrific. We sort of didn't know how he'd compete going into it. He's only a newbie in terms of racing these horses, and for what he's done, he's only had 25 starts. He's still only the baby of the field, and to compete like he has, really proud of him.
Okay, 2 starts ago when you won that second round heat. That was over the middle distance trip, 2,138 metres. He was awesome that night, and the time backs it up.
He was strong, and he was able to dictate in front, and that's how he likes it. So we haven't got that luxury, obviously, on Saturday night, but it'll be the same for him. The harder they go, the better he'll be.
Were you disappointed at any point last week when you were run down in front over the 2680?
No, he sort of didn't really. First time over 2600, he got a little bit confused, and he sort of had one that he head to head with him. He sort of raced it the whole way, and he never sort of really got a chance to sort of just relax enough. But he still got home in 26.8, and that's still not his go. He probably probably needed to go stronger. You know, it sounds stupid, but if it had been the final, we might have sort of let him roll a bit, and he just got out sprinted, but he was still strong enough on the line.
Okay, so the barrier draws were held on Monday afternoon. What were you hoping for? What would have been the ideal draw for Speak the Truth?
Obviously, one would have been great if we could get close enough and posi on a couple of them good ones. You know, that would have been ideal. But in terms of drawing the second line, I think the rest of the draw sort of makes it interesting. So we're relying on a couple of factors, but you know, as I say, he'll be as strong as any.
Okay, many consider this to be a race into the two brothers, Swayze, Leap to Fame. Do you see it that way, or if they overdo it, and that's likely, does that bring many others into the play here?
Oh, for sure. You know, everyone going into the series had it as a two-horse race, and that's what it looked to be. But these heats have certainly opened it up, and obviously Narano stepped himself up and made himself a player. And I thought Better Eclipse the other night, he was outstanding to win, so he's going to be hard to beat. And you know, sort of Grant's going to have to do all he can to get in front of Swayze early, and that's the key to their chances. And the opposite, they'll be sort of doing their best to stay in front. So I think that first sort of 400 is going to be really telling.
Okay, everyone's got an opinion on how this shakes out in the first 200 metres. What do you think will happen?
Obviously, you know, they've come out and said Narano's better doing, you know, less work, so I'm pretty sure turn it up, he can get across most horses. So that'll be the first key, and then obviously Future Assured, I think he's got his chance to cross Swayze, and I think if Grant puts one on Leap to Fame's bum at the start, I'm pretty sure we'll find a bit of extra gate speed that he hasn't shown. So, as I say, that 200, you know, it's going to be very interesting.
Okay, you're drawn directly behind Swayze. Are you punching through at the start, or are you sort of grabbing up almost immediately?
Nah, we'll just sort of, you know, follow through as good as he can. He's actually not as good from the second line. He doesn't follow through that great, but we'll get ourselves in the running line and let you know, let the big boys settle themselves early, and then yeah, we'll just play it by ear after that.
Will Speak the Truth beat home more than what will beat him home?
Oh, I think so. You know, unless 3 runs in a week have told, which I don't think it will. You know, the way he's racing, he's certainly be a top 5 chance.
Okay, so who's the horse to beat? Is it Swayze or is it Leap to Fame?
Look, honestly, it's all up in the air. I think there's 3 or 4 good winning chances, and I wouldn't even count us out. So hopefully it's me winning it.
Yep, okay, we'll take that. Hey, let's go to race 7. Sunrise Ruby is your drive here. This is the Inter-Regional Championship final. Sunrise Ruby's racing extremely well. She comes up with gate 5 here, likely to move into 4 if the emergency doesn't secure a start. Is she a hope here?
Yeah, you know, she was a little bit, you know, a tad unlucky last start. She got held up by a tiring leader, and the leaders got away, or the winner got away on her. So she's probably racing in career best form, and if she gets any luck, she's you know, it's an even field with not many standouts. So I'm sure she'll acquit herself well.
Does the mile suit her?
Yeah, it definitely does. It's you know, she's not a real strong horse, so it's just a sort of key early. If she can posi up close enough without doing too much work, you know, that'll be her key chances.
Okay. Were you hoping to draw just a little closer?
Oh, obviously, with her, you know, the less work she can do, the better. So anything on the fence would have been ideal.
Okay. Let's go to the trotting grand final now. Van Sank is your drive here, and they've set you a challenge because you've got to start from gate 7, the outside of the front row. What are you hoping for here, and what are you expecting?
I'm expecting Just Believe to, you know, win the race, and hopefully we can beat a few home. Where, as you say, we're given no chances with drawn 7, so we'll just be going back and probably admiring the good horse.
Okay. How have you assessed his carnival so far?
Terrific. He's gone beyond expectations, actually. And Saturday night he ran 4th over 2600 and was hitting the line as probably as good as he can against them, you know, good horses and good time. Them sort of 3 or 4 obviously standouts and just a little bit above, you know, our trotters here. But he's probably acquitted himself as good as he could have.
Going into night 1, did you think there was a chance that you could be lining up in the final, or did you think that was too tall an order? So are you happy that you're here and you've got some sort of knockout chance?
Oh, look, if you had said we're in the final, you know, we were, you know, sort of not laughed at you, but it was more of a pipe dream than anything. And if he had drawn the fence on Saturday night, you know, you might have run top 5. But you know, just to be in it and competing, that's, you know, he was a cheap buy and he's done a great job. So, you know, as I say, just to be in it's a big thrill.
Yeah, Just Believe looks awfully hard to beat. He's been enormous throughout the series and looks like he's getting stronger as the series gets deeper.
Yeah, it's quite scary actually. You know, you walk out and, you know, in the parade ring and then walking around to the start and you just admire him. He takes it all in his stride. He just stands there and whatever Greg wants him to do, he's happy to do it, and he's just a powerhouse trotter.
Well, it's Inter-Dominion Grand Finals night this Saturday night. Adam Sanderson is a cool customer. Will you find or face any sort of nerves there going into the meeting on Saturday night?
I don't think so. You know, I sort of get more excited with these big races, and it's not like you know, anyone thinks we're a chance. So we think we're you know, a good chance to maybe knock off them. So no nerves. We'll just take it in our stride and just be happy that we're there.
All right, well, I'm sure you'll do yourself proud and all of the connections involved. I appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside Saturday night.
Lovely, thank you.
Angus Garrard is now joining us to go through his drives on Saturday night, and this is a special night. It's ID23 Grand Finals night, and Angus, 20 years of age, has a drive in both of these finals, both for his dad, so that's a huge effort in so many ways. Classy Washington, he's going to line up in the Pacing Grand Final. Sir Fahrenheit lining up in the Trotters Grand Final. Angus is with us now. Angus, appreciate the time. Congratulations.
No worries. Thanks for having me, Chris. Yeah, it's a big thrill. Thank you very much.
This is what dreams are made of. You've grown up in a racing family, a harness racing family, so you know all about the Inter-Dominion, the fanfare, the tradition, the history. So this is a special moment in so many ways for you on Saturday night.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I think every young kid in harness racing that's sort of got some involvement dreams of sort of winning an Inter-Dominion or being involved in an Inter-Dominion. So yeah, can't wait for Saturday.
Has it come around a lot quicker than what you probably planned or hoped for? You're only 20 years of age, like I said. So did you think you were any sort of chance pre-series that you'd be lining up in the finals?
Yeah, it has come around quick. I sort of wasn't expecting it. I thought I was probably a fair hope with Sir Fahrenheit, and I thought the two paces I had were sort of going well enough to get in the final, but obviously it comes down to luck in draws and stuff like that through the heats a lot as well. So, you know, we got a bit of luck there and we took advantage.
No doubt about that. Don't take this the wrong way, but you like a good racehorse. You've thrived during this campaign. The longer the better, as the series has got deeper. Some of your drives have just been super good.
Thank you very much. It's, you know, obviously I'm always trying my best and sort of was really looking forward to being on the big stage, and you know, hopefully I've done a good job.
Yeah, you've shone brightly, and we'll talk more about those drives in just a moment, the Inter-Dominion Grand Drives. But let's go through all of your drives for Saturday night, and we start with this really good race, this first race. Argyle is your drive. You know this horse really well. He was super last week, chased home a really good 3-year-old, and they went super fast time.
Yeah, he was really good, Chris. You know, we were sort of obliged to race tough there after things sort of changed a bit leaving the arm, and he still boxed on well and wasn't beaten fast, so I was really pleased with his run.
So what do you think of this race and your draw, Gate 5? Are you sort of thinking you're going to be left parked out again, or you're going to have to do plenty of work? How does it sort of set up?
Yeah, look, we're probably going to have to work at some stage. He probably seems a horse that can do work, and, you know, sort of, he might even be better racing tough, but we haven't sort of asked him to do that too much. So, you know, we're just going to have to see what happens leaving the gate. You know, I'll see what Mark says, see how it come through last week, and make a decision what we do early at least.
Okay. Last week was the mile, Saturday night, 21:38. Is there any preference from your point of view with Argyle, or it doesn't really matter?
To be honest, I don't think it matters too much as long as they don't sort of sit and zip too much. He probably only lacks a little bit of turn of foot. You know, if they drop sort of a low 27 or a 26, he gets left a little bit flat-footed. But, you know, he seems to be able to roll along nice, sort of whether it's 2100 or a mile. Okay.
So as far as, you know, looking at this race, he's a genuine top 3 chance. Who do you think looks the obvious horse to beat here?
You know, it's probably pretty even. It's sort of one of those races that could pan out a number of different ways, and sort of wouldn't be too surprised if a few different ones popped up.
Okay, well, that's Argyle. That's going to get the ball rolling for you on Saturday night. What about race 2? This is going to be the final heat of the One Equine Australasian Young Drivers Championship, and you're driving Stormtide. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first time you've sat behind this horse?
Yeah, that's right. I haven't driven him before. Raced against him plenty though.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got barrier 1, so this seems ideal for him.
Yeah, it looks that way. You know, gate 1 over the short trip, and I thought his last 3 had been really good. So hopefully we can take advantage on Saturday.
Okay, you've got some pretty handy 3-year-olds here. A Rhoda, Artie's Flash. They sort of jump off the page, but they're rising in grade. So ideally, you're looking for cover, and who would be the best horse to take a sit on here if that was the case?
Yeah, look, I'm not too sure. You know, I don't know whether he really needs a helmet or not. He sort of has been sort of forced to those last couple of times he's drawn in there, and you know, he's raced well doing that. But I'm not sure if he could do it off the front end as well. I'll have to see what Donnie said, but as you say, there's a few nice ones out wide, so we're going to have options.
Okay. It's going to be all important, the final heat of the series, so you've got to make sure that you get as high as possible here.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully we can make it count.
All right, well, that's race number 2. Let's go across now to race 4. This is the Inter-Dominion Pacing Championship Consolation. Manila Playboy, things were going along really well. Then last week he got left parked out. That was the worst possible spot for him, in particular when you're chasing a horse like Leap to Fame. What do you think of this race on Saturday night?
Yeah, look, I think he's good enough to take this race. You know, a little bit went wrong last week, but you know, he seems to have come through that well, and you know, he pulled up fine after it and things like that. So I can't see why he won't race up to his best again, but obviously the draw's not ideal and it's still a tough punch.
It probably wasn't the worst draw, though, given what happened last week. So at least drawn there, hopefully he can just find that right horse to follow. And if he's close enough, you know, over the latter part, he could easily be good enough here.
Yeah, that's right. You know, hopefully a few of these sort of better ones have got to work early and work to get into their spots. And as you say, if we can follow the right horse in and be there sort of looming at the top of the straight, I think they'd be going pretty well to hold him out.
Is Can't Find a Better Man the horse to beat?
Yeah, it looks that way on paper. You know, he came up with a pretty nice draw. His sectional's been off the charts through the heats, and, you know, he's probably due.
Okay, but Manila Playboy, if any luck goes his way, he can pounce.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's as good as any of them.
All right. Well, that's the consolation. Let's move to the grand final now. Classy Washington. This has been a remarkable story. He was purchased, you know, for a modest sum. I wouldn't say it was over the top. Just to have a bit of fun. Good group of owners. Here you are lining up in an Inter-Dominion Pacing grand final. This is what dreams are made of.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think anyone in the group sort of dreamed of this, that's for sure. He's, you know, exceeded all expectations, and every time we ask him to step up, he just rises to the occasion and goes that bit better.
Yeah, and there was no fluke about it. He hasn't just limped into this final. He's been tremendous. A runner-up in 2 of the 3 heats. He was 4th in the other heat. And he's taken some of these races right up to Better Eclipse. That's the horse that's beaten you both times when you've run second, and you've made him work for it.
Yeah, that's right. He's been super. You know, we were sort of a little bit lucky. We drew good on the first night and were able to put ourselves in a good spot and gain some points, which took a bit of pressure off. But, you know, the last 2 heats I sort of used him pretty hard early, and he still was right there. You know, he ran past some nice horses and held off a lot of nice horses.
Looking back at this replay from last week, when did you decide that you were going to launch him from gate 7 last week?
You know, as soon as I saw the field, I sort of thought to myself that I could get forward. I was pretty confident Swayze would be buried, and, you know, it looked like everything else on the front line sort of had to take a sit. So I wanted to be positive, and, you know, it worked out that way. We were able to get a nice lead, and it probably led to us being really close in the finish.
This draw on Saturday night, inside of the second row, is that perfect for him?
Yeah, I think it's ideal. I think we're in the best spot to try and earn some money, that's for sure.
Okay. Everyone's got an opinion about how this race is going to play out. I've got to ask you what your thoughts are. Firstly, does Turn It Up cross Narano?
I think so. You know, as everyone says, when you sort of think Turn It Up can't clear, it seems to find a way. So, you know, if any night he's probably going to get hold, it might be a speedy horse like Narano drawn right beside him. But, you know, I'd be surprised if he doesn't find the fence.
Okay. The second part of the question, do you think there's any chance that Leap to Fame can land in front of Swayze?
Yeah, I do think so, actually. I think it certainly could work out that way.
Okay. Is he the horse to beat then, Leap to Fame?
Yeah, I think so. You know, as long as he's at his best, obviously. All those sort of good horses have had sort of hard runs through the series, so as long as he's come through everything good and he's 100%, I think he's awfully hard to beat.
Okay. So with these two big power horses drawing the front row, that means one thing. We're assured of a genuine run final here. So that is a good thing for you, right?
Yeah, for sure. You know, the harder they go for us, the better.
Okay. Can you run top 5?
I think we can, yeah. I think we're following the right horse. We're in the right spot early, and if we can follow Narano everywhere he goes, I think he'll lead us to the space, and hopefully we can be there close.
So if he does weigh in, runs top 5, does that just cap a dream series for Classy Washington and you guys involved?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's over the moon to have already made a final. To sort of pick up a decent chunk of money, it'd be just unreal.
Okay, well, we wish you the best of luck there, Classy Washington. Race number 7, this is the Inter-Regional Championship Final. Jillaby Jackpot was a heat winner. He scored at Redcliffe. No real shock there. He can take this final, can't he?
Yeah, I certainly think he can, Chris. He was really good last start, so hopefully we're on the right track.
Are you happy with the draw, 2 off the second row?
Yeah, I think that's ideal.
Okay, is there going to be genuine pressure early here?
I think so. I think there'll be a few wanting to take a shot. You know, we're racing for good money, and the fence is gold at Albion Park, so hopefully if you take a shot, that'll put a bit of speed into it for us anyway.
Okay, so ideally, where would you like to be positioned after the first 400 metres with Jillaby Jackpot?
Oh, I'd like to be in the first half of the field. You know, it sort of makes it tough if you get further back than there, but in saying that, if they go absolutely ballistic, it doesn't really matter. But the way I sort of see it, if I can be in the first half, I think we're in with a good shot.
Okay, do you know if he's trained on well since the heat victory?
Yeah, he's been really good. Speaking to Dad, he's been really happy with him this week. He trained well this morning, so all systems go.
All right, and the more you look at that, Ray, he's probably the class horse of that field, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's close to it. He has come back good. He's sort of working better and racing better, and especially his last 2, they've been really good. So I think we're on the right track.
All right. Race 8, Inter-Dominion Trotting Championship Grand Final, Sir Fahrenheit. He's been right there with the big boys right throughout the heats. Yes, he's had some nice draws, but he's still been very competitive. You chose Barrier 8 on Monday at the Barrier draw, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, pat yourself on the back there. That's a good draw.
Yeah, exactly. It's same as Classy Washington. It's ideal for us.
Okay. Just Believe, is he beatable or not?
Oh, I don't think so, to be honest. I think something would have to go sort of drastically wrong, or the race would have to be run absolutely upside down for him to get beat.
Okay. Do you think they'll hold the lead with Mufasa Metro, or if Just Believe gets there first, or maybe even Queen Elida, do you think they hand over?
I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't have thought they'd hold. You know, it's probably too big a risk to take that if you got a horse like Just Believe sitting outside, you probably go home with no money instead of a decent chunk. So I'd be surprised if they parked sort of one of those two.
Okay, so you're thinking you're going to be 3 fence?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. But you can still earn here? Can you run top 5?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I was saying sort of through the week, I think he stays as good as anything in the race. He just sort of hasn't got that sort of low 55 half that some of these other ones have got. But if it's a genuine run race, then I think we'll be sort of sticking on as good as any of them at the finish.
All right, I'll ask this question. Which horse do you think has handled the series better? You know, they're going into their 4th run in 14 days. Which one's handled it better, Classy Washington or Sir Fahrenheit?
I actually can't fault either of them, to be honest. It was real credit to sort of Dad and the horses. You know, he's had them super. You know, they haven't lost any weight. They're sort of carrying still nice condition and haven't taken any ill effects from any of the runs. So, you know, they've handled it really well, probably better than I thought, to be honest.
Okay, the follow-up question to that. How's your dad handled the series?
Yeah, he's good. You know, we've had a bit of luck, so he's been over the moon.
Okay, well, that's good news. And, yeah, great effort, as I said, qualifying 2 horses for both finals, the Pacers and Trotters Grand Final. Final drive for you on Saturday night, race 9.
Tam O'Shanter. He's drawn the inside of the second row. That's not a bad draw for him either.
No, it's not too bad. You know, as long as he doesn't get too revved up, he should be good in there.
Okay, what did you make of that performance last week when fifth?
Yeah, I thought he was good. You know, it was a genuine tempo. He worked off the gate and he was on speed, and he was the only horse to earn any money that came wide at any stage. So I thought he raced well.
Okay, is Constantinople clearly the horse to beat here?
Oh, yeah, I think so. There's probably a few in this that have been racing really well. You know, a horse like Powder Keg and a couple of others have been sort of sectionally off the map. So I still think it's going to be a very hard race and sort of very even.
All right, well, it's a busy night for you on Saturday night, a special night as well. 2 drives, a pacing grand final, a trotting grand final. Enjoy what's left of the week and enjoy the moment there on Saturday night. Appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Will do. Thanks very much, Chris.
A big thanks, a big congratulations to both Adam and Angus. We wish them all the very best of luck on Saturday night ahead of their drives with the ID23 Grand Finals coming up, Pacers and Trotters. And as I said, they're driving in both of those finals. I'll just hold as far as giving a best bet is concerned, because tomorrow we're going to have more coverage coming out as far as the weekend winners is concerned. Darren Clayton, Ryan Spy, they've been with me right throughout ID23. They're going to join me tomorrow as well, and we'll have all of the analyses coming through for these big races, the Pacing Grand Final, the Trotting Grand Final, the Consolations as well. So that's all just around the corner. So make sure you stay tuned. You're following all the right channels to get all of the good oil for Saturday night's huge program at Albion Park. We'll see you trackside at the Creek Saturday night.